Welcome back to another episode of JailBreak Overlander. This is going to be an episode of extreme overlanding. Many of you may or may not know that I hit the highway from the East Coast intending on hitting Potts Mountain in Virginia, which is where you're seeing me right now. Sadly, I discovered the transfer case I had just rebuilt had an issue, and I found that out at Potts Mountain.
I believe that if you're going to overland, extreme overland for instance, like I do, know how to work on your truck. Do you see what I'm saying?
It turns out that after rebuilding my transfer case, installing the part-time, putting the Marlin crawler gear in, I neglected to replace the detent ball. I must have dropped it, and it caused the truck to continue to pop out of four-wheel low. So I had a decision to make. Head west to Ozarks Overlanders, fix it and hit the mountains, or head home. I hit Ozarks Overland Outfitters. I crossed the Mississippi River, took time to throw a drone up because if you've never crossed the Mississippi, it's still magnificent, as dirty and crowded as it is. I made it to Missouri, I fixed up the transfer case, and I was determined to hit the mountains in the Ozarks, and that's exactly what I did. So check this out. The owner took me to Flat Nasty Off-Road Park, and it was pouring.
Me and Jason Harris were the only ones here. Thunder and lightning and rain, November 30th, 2019. Flat Nasty, Missouri.
We did not let that stop us. The trails were red, muddy clay, unbelievably rocky, and it was pouring rain out, but we still did them and videotaped as best as humanly possible. Here's Jason coming down one of the trails. Notice his rear tire goes right by that rock. Now here I come. Pay attention to that same rock. That's why you have sliders.
Welcome to Missouri, Richie.
Now, for those that wonder, doesn't that kind of stuff cause damage to the tires? Hell yes. That's no good. Gotta do a trail repair. See me drooling? We got her fixed up and we were back on the trail in no time. Now, in case you haven't noticed, These are the roads that bring you to the trails. They are enormous boulders, incredibly wet, and it's all red clay. No joke whatsoever at all. And as you may have guessed, it's about to get much, much worse.
Nice.
Still got the camera pointed, see that? Like a war reporter, baby.
All these trails you're seeing us on right now were simply bringing us to the extremely steep, wet, boulder-covered climbs. That's where it got hectic.
Wow. Back up. Holy cow. There it is. There it is. Oh my. Oh my. Wow. And it's pouring out.
And yes, you can hear me desperately gasping for air because being the cameraman, I had to climb this in the rain, as steep as it was. And I climb often. It killed me. That's how steep it was. And you know how it is. Anytime you get epic footage of somebody else doing an awesome climb, they always get terrible footage. So I went back the next day and got this. Listen to that supercharger sing. You gotta love it. I cannot even explain how steep of a climb this is. It's crazy. You did just see the front tires lift off the ground. The trails were tight, the trails were rocky, and the trails were muddy. But the Land Cruisers just pushed right through it, no problem whatsoever. Kicking rocks. If you pay attention right here, you'll see my Wii Boost antenna snap off right there. Nice. And here's the best part. When we showed up, there were a bunch of trucks there, and they're all fully caged, monster buggies and truggies, and they were calling us motorhomes. Well, these motorhomes did all the trails that they did, for the most part, and at the end of the day, we ended up pulling them out. This is the first time I've actually had to use my winch For real. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment below.